Good morning, everyone. Britt Simon here. Just a quick update for you on two topics. First, first of all, on the UK lawsuit, let me just show you the announcement that has just come out from the government. This is essentially just the government confirming what what the lawsuit alleges. In fact, now they have actually admitted everything that my lawsuit alleged. They've completely, caved, shall we say, which is all they could do. Everything I said in the lawsuit was accurate. So, there's nothing they could do about that. There's two parts to the announcement from the government. Firstly, they reviewed the entry selection system for the DV26, blah, blah, blah. And it shows that a small number of entrants from Cuba, the status results may have incorrectly shown that they were selected. That was part of my lawsuit. That was part of the evidence that I put forward that showed that they had messed things up for the UK. It was clear to me that not only had they failed to switch on the UK as an eligible country in DV 2025, but also they had left Cuba as an eligible country in DV 2026, which was also incorrect. That shouldn't have happened, right? So, some of you from Cuba may be sort of irritated with me for pointing this out, but this was not going to work out for you anyway. You were going to be ineligible, and it makes clear here under U.S. law and as published in the DV26 instructions, Cuban natives are not eligible to participate in the DV26 program year. That's what they say, and so those winners from Cuba have now been contacted, according to this, to say you're not actually eligible for the DV26 win that we told you you were eligible for. So there may be another lawsuit from Cuban selectees over that mess. But to be honest, this is what I feel is kind of the right result. The Cuban selectees shouldn't have been allowed in. Now, that could have an impact to the rest of South America. Of course, we don't know yet what this small number of selectees was going to be from Cuba, how many were selected. And so we don't know yet unless we get those numbers. We won't know what impact that will have to South America. So now I'm kind of more frustrated than before because they didn't publish the selectee number. They haven't responded in my lawsuit with all of the selectee numbers. And I've just contacted my lawyer, Curtis Morrison, to say, hey, there's a couple of things remaining here. We need full transparency to the numbers. We need to know were the UK entries properly selected or not. And now I've got to ask, okay, how many people, what's this small number of Cuban selectees that you've taken out of the pot? They can't just keep this to themselves. They have to actually give us that information. If they screw up, they should make that screw up public. They should make that data known, right? The other part of this announcement is saying that selected entries from the UK should go and check their online registration. So please go ahead and do that if you haven't already done that. Now, as I explained in my video from a couple of nights ago, or I can't remember the timing, a couple of nights ago, as I explained in that video, there's roughly, they've made a mistake in the draw process, and there are probably 4 times as many selectees chosen from the UK as there should be. That's not increased the density of those cases, but it's increased the case numbers that are being found. Let me just switch me around. It's increased the number of selectees that are being found up to very high case numbers, right? And so I've explained this in more detail in my other video, but basically the people with the very high case numbers should not realistically get an interview. There are a couple of ways that I could see that they would get an interview if the region as a whole goes current and the government kind of screws up, but I don't think that will happen. We have to wait and see what the selectee numbers are for the globe as a whole and for the region of Europe to be really sure. So we have to get those selectee numbers. But yeah, the case numbers where you've got a case number of something over 50,000, it's just too high. There are no other case numbers above about 50,000, as far as I'm aware, in Europe this year. So the case numbers we've heard of with people 130, 150,000, 190,000 in the UK are way too high. And generally speaking, I think anything over 50,000 is at the ludicrous level. I mean, crazy level, right? And I'm not saying that 50,000 will get current. I'm just saying that would be a sort of a more reasonable case number to have been selected with. So anything above 50,000 is frankly unreasonable. And it's evidence that they have over-selected. They've made another mistake in the way that they've done the draw process. Not with the draw as such. The numbering is okay. They've just allowed the numbers to go too far in terms of informed selectees, which is, another screw up. But anyway, so that's the update I have on the UK lawsuit, and which has now essentially been won on both counts and in both years, DV25 and 26, and of course, I would expect them, if the UK is eligible in DV 2027, which we don't know yet, I would expect them to be able to select those selectees. Now, I think they would have corrected the problem well, I hope, I hope they will have corrected the problem that that caused this problem in the first place, which is adding the UK to the list of eligible countries, right? One last update for you, and it may affect some of the people from the UK. The SEAC system where you enter the DS260 information is broken at the moment. There are two broken things at the moment in the government system, because they do so well with this stuff, right? There's two things. Firstly, if you're trying to enter your DS260 to fill out details there or edit it, even if you previously went into the DS260, you may have a frustrating time getting into your own DS260 right now. And there's a system glitch that is causing a problem. And I would just say, if that happens to you, just leave it alone for a few days. No need to keep trying every 10 minutes or something and getting yourself worked up. Just leave it alone for a few days. And in a few days' time, hopefully, they will have fixed that problem. Okay? So relax. It's nothing to do with your case. It's to do with the system as a whole. The other thing that is broken at the moment is when they're sending 2NLs out to people, they're supposed to send an email and then direct you to go to the ESC page. The ESC page isn't being correctly updated with the interview details for a lot of cases. So in those scenarios, people are emailing KCC, and KCC will respond saying, yeah, you've been scheduled at the this embassy on this date, but they don't give you the time. And it's not a normal 2NL process. They're not giving you the time. And actually what should happen is you should see that that date and time in your ESC page, but those updates are coming slowly after the cases have been scheduled. So they're in a bit of a mess with that at the moment. Now, on that, you don't need to worry either. If your interview is in November, it's freaking loads of time before November, okay? You don't need to get panicky about this. And again, it's not about your case, right? So for those of you that are emailing me saying, oh, I can't register my case and I can't do this because I haven't got my 2NL, just calm down, right? There's nothing wrong with your particular case. It's not a problem. Just relax, right? Some of you are way too hyped up on this. Some of the emails I've been getting and messages I've been getting are amazing. You guys freak out at the slightest drop of a hat. Anyway, so just relax, and in due course, you will see your ESC page that you'll get your time and date. This has happened before, and in those cases, I don't think anybody missed their appointment, through not being updated into the ESC page. It's going to get fixed. Don't worry. There will be time for this to be fixed and for you to be told properly what time it is. You just don't need to worry, really. Okay? So that's all I have for you this morning. I've got to rush off now, so I hope this quick update was useful to you. Keep well, everyone. Bye-bye.